I should have got ready by when I started this. I should have got ready when I started this. I should have got ready when I started this. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Alright. I should have got ready when I started this. I should have got ready when I started this. Alright. Super Bowl 57. I wanted to address some things. Not that it really matters because, you know, I am talking about this way past when it happened. If you hear noise, which you probably will, it's either my dog's walking or I've got a fan going because it's freaking cold in my house right now. But I just wanted to just talk about Super Bowl 57 and the Travis and Jason Kelce podcast, New Heights, a Jukes original. I've been watching it a lot, let's just say that. So, I wanted to talk about Super Bowl 57, so, funny story. I didn't know football really all that much. Like, my maybe knew, like, how to throw a football. I don't even know if I know how to throw a football correctly. Like, that's about as much as I know about football. So, me being a sports bettor, you know, Super Bowl 57's coming up, and, you know, the sports book that I was with said, hey, here is a free $100. Go put that shit on, and let's try to win you some money. AKA, let's not win you some money because I want you to lose it so that we can have it so that you spend more. Sportsbook. Anyways, so, you know, just get into betting. I'm excited. I'm like Super Bowl, like have no idea. I know Rihanna's performing. That's about it. And I start, I start placing bets. Put some money on it. Honestly, it's been so long and I didn't want to go back in my receipts to see what I bet on. But I know for a fact that I bet on the Philadelphia Eagles. Mostly because I had no idea how good the Chiefs were. Didn't know any previous information to the game. I just went with the Chiefs. Or I just went with the Eagles because I'm pretty sure they had the better odds, and I was like, you know what? Why take the underdog? I'm gonna go with the favorite, and with little knowledge, this is how it turned out. So, obviously, I lost because the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Spoiler if you didn't know that. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So, lost a lot of money, and I was betting on that last play of the game where, Patrick Mahomes is running, and then slides. Actually, I don't think it was Patrick, it was someone else, but they were running, slide, and they were like inches from getting the touchdown. And I'm like, why are we not getting the touchdown? Now, fast forward, I know a little bit more about the game and how it works, and sometimes certain plays happen because you don't want the other team to have the ball so that they can have a better chance of scoring, either tying or winning the game. Didn't know all of that, but I was like, I'm gonna bet on the over and it's gonna be great. I was like 1 point off or something, and the motherfucker didn't get the touchdown, got the field goal, I think, and, won the game. And when I tell you the rage that I had, because I didn't fucking understand, because I was like, why didn't you just get that touchdown? Why didn't you just get that tutty, right? I had no idea, and I was upset. And then, so I'm already upset because I lost the game. I lost money, well, fake money. And now you're going to tell me that I lost my over-under too? Like, what the heck? And then, post-game, they're doing the celebration, and Travis Kelce, F you, or not, I guess he didn't say F you guys, but, you guys doubted us, you guys everyone didn't expect us to be this far, blah, 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 and, we're the underdogs, and, no one except for the Chiefs Kingdom thought that we would make it here, and I was upset because I was like, what are you talking about? Who fucking cares? Like, you just won the Super Bowl, blah, 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 Didn't understand it all. So immediately I was like, I just lost money to this guy. I fucking hate him. Hate him to death, right? I was like, for the rest of the time, I was like, that's the guy that I lost money to. I don't like that. I don't like him. Obviously, fast forward, I learned a lot about both the Chiefs, the Kelces, how football works, all of that stuff. And, it all makes sense in the end if I'm just, trying to say it. It all makes sense in the end. So I'm like, oh my God, like I just lost it, and this cocky motherfucker is like talking, and I'm just like, just take the dub and walk away, But yeah, so that was before I knew really who Travis was. This was before obviously Taylor Swift was in the picture. This was before I started watching the podcast, or listening, I guess, to the podcast. And yeah, so that was my first initial reaction to the Chiefs, Patty Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs. I said that already. Kelce, Travis Kelce, and yeah, wasn't too impressed. Now, fast forward, I think it was October. The news came out that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce might be going on some dates, and I'm like, why? He's the dude that I lost money on. Like, what the heck? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's not that bad of a guy. Like, if he can bag Taylor Swift, maybe he's not that bad of a guy, because you gotta be fucking nuts in the head if you're gonna try to date Taylor Swift with her fandom, because her Swifties go freaking nuts, right? And so I was like, maybe I'll give this guy a chance. And, I started kind of paying attention a little bit to the Chiefs, kind of paying attention to the news, finding some things out. And then I've been listening to a lot of financial podcasts, and I was getting kind of tired of them because I've just been binging them, and I was like, I need to make my palate fresh again. So I decided, why not go to a sports podcast. Love sports. I watch them basically every day, whether it's football, hockey, most definitely hockey, basketball, baseball when it's on. I'm very into the sports, and I just started sports betting again, so that was exciting. And so I'm like, maybe I'll learn a little more about football, because I don't really know a lot about football. So I seen that Travis and Jason Kelce had a podcast, New Heights, and I was like, maybe I'll give them a chance. I'll go into this podcast with a fresh mindset of, I didn't lose money to this guy and he wasn't talking his mouth off and blah blah blah. Within, I would say, probably that first episode, I freaking fell in love with this dude's personality. He is so funny, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. Too funny. And I started listening to the podcast, and Jason, and just Travis, Jason, the Kelce family, just all of that, and just hearing about both their experiences on and off the field. And I gained a huge admiration for these guys, and I learned so much about Jason, so much about Travis. Extremely happy that I went into it with a clear mindset of, not hating on him because of, me losing money, because obviously he had nothing to do with it. Everything was happening for a reason. So I was like, yeah, just going into the podcast with a fresh mindset, and I learned so much, especially about the Super Bowl week, and how, their mom just got so put on this pedestal of this amazing mom. And as someone who has played sports before and has this admiration for moms and dads and parents, and I just, it's so cool to see how the football community took in the Kelce family, Donna Kelce, and just absolutely ran with it. And it was so cool. And to have Jason and Travis playing together, well, not together, against each other, being the first brothers to do that, and just like having their mom front and center, like that's so cool. And then obviously from the beginning of the podcast right until the Super Bowl podcast, Travis was talking about how, everyone was betting against them, and no one really gave them a chance to even have a decent season, let alone even get to the playoffs. And the fact that they won the season, they won the playoffs, got to the big bowl and won, that is just unbelievable. And so, looking back, it's funny because, I watch that, him celebrating and what he says, and I just have a complete shift of perspective on him because of the behind the scenes, and just, listening to him in the podcast, and him and Jason talking, and just the dynamic they have, and having them getting their QBs, Patty Mahomes and Jalen. Like, I think it's just so cool, and I gained a boatload of respect for him, and also Jason. I just think that's so cool, and in a way, I kind of wish I could go back and pick the Chiefs, because I think if I had the prior knowledge of their season, and how everyone bet against them and blah blah blah, like, I love rooting for the underdog. I didn't know anything about football, so that's why I went with the Eagles. But I think I would have picked the Chiefs. Obviously, knowing what I know now that they won, that's easy to say. But like, I'm a sucker for like the underdog story and blah 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 and all that. Like, so to know that they were the underdog, no one pinned them to even be in the playoffs or do as well as they did in the regular season, and then having them come out as like victors, winning the Super Bowl, like, that's unbelievable. So yeah, that's kind of what I just wanted to say. And it's just cool seeing like what they can do, and just how the Chiefs beat the odds. And then I watched the Super Bowl again. I watched the teams, knowing how, both watching this season and just listening to the podcast, it was such a good game. And Jalen Hurts had that fumble for the Nick Bolton tutty, and then just like some unbelievable plays by Patty, and then him like sprint, like I don't know what he did to his ankle, but he tweaked it, and then coming back like nothing happened, and then absolutely just taking the game over was just insane. It was so cool to watch a second time, knowing a little bit more about football and the players behind the Chiefs jersey and behind the Eagles jersey. Like, it's just so cool. And I think one other thing about like both the Super Bowl and the podcast is, not only did I get to know the guys, but I also got to know like Andy Reid. I haven't got to his podcast yet, but Andy Reid, Nick Sirianni, and I learned who Gronk was. I only saw him from a Monster can. We actually have it here, which is funny. Not opening that one, knowing how freaking cool Gronkowski was and is, doing all of those commercials, and yeah, my brain is just stalling. But I just wanted to come on and say that, like, don't have a first impression of someone and just like stick with that one, because your first impression on someone could be completely different to like how they actually are, you know? Don't judge a book by its cover, you know? I judged Travis based on a speech he made because it was so well deserved. That speech should have been made, by the way. You know, he should have been hyped. He should have said what he said, and he did. And you know, knowing what I know, I'm freaking proud of him, and it's just so cool seeing the underdog rise. And the fact that he couldn't even ask Patty Mahomes to come onto the podcast, but somehow he begged Taylor Swift is just insane to me. Like, that is so funny. I can't wait to keep watching the episodes, and hopefully he explained how that all went down, but I found that extremely funny, and I just can't wait to learn more about these guys and just keep on watching them, you know. It's gonna be exciting, and yeah. I'm excited. I hope Jason plays a couple more years because I want to see him play now that I know like who he is and everything, and yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna keep on rambling and saying the same thing over and over again like I have been. So yeah, I'm going to let you guys go and going back to a regularly scheduled program of talking bullshit about the last week's games. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday next week, and I hope you guys have a good one. Hope you guys have a good Christmas, Xmas, whatever you celebrate. Anyways, I'm tired. Good night.